until peak week. And I was like, I think I'm in over my head. Like I'm in
Okay.
over my head. So it just kind of all hit me that week. But going to the day of, I have to say that was the smoothest I have ever experienced a show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I am super excited tonight because we have a few firsts on the show tonight. For me, it is the very first wellness competitor that is joining the show. And on the converse, it's the very first podcast that my guest is doing. Hot off her pro card wellness win at the universe this year, allow me to introduce Miss Jenobia Desirea. Jenobia, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sean. I'm just so excited to be here.
We're gonna have fun. I know I kind of told you behind the scenes we're gonna have a great time, and at the end of this, hopefully you'll want to come back again. But Ginobia, let's go back most recently to the week of the universe, and then maybe the day of. The week of how you're feeling, what's going through your mind. I mean, walk us through that a little bit.
Okay, so to be honest, the week of is kind of when everything hit me, and I kind of realized like I'm really fixing to do this. Up until then, everything had been really smooth until peak week, and I was like, I think I'm in over my head, like I'm in
Okay.
over my head. So it just kind of all hit me that week. But going to the day of, I have to say that was the smoothest I have ever experienced a show.
Okay.
Um, I I was the nerves were gone completely, which usually I feel like is kind of the opposite, but being there with my coach first, like getting to meet him for the first time, and being with he stayed with me all the way up until it was time for me to go on stage.
Okay.
So it's just something about his presence, honestly, that just took like every fear away. I was completely calm, and I kept looking at him like, "Sir, like I don't feel like I'm doing this right now. I don't feel like this is fixing to happen." And I'm like, "This is kind of scary because I'm so calm."
Sure.
So, yeah.
So that Saturday morning, is there a ritual? Do you have a specific meal? Do you keep headphones on? Do you keep to yourself? Are you socializing? Like what goes through your mind the day of a show, more or less the universe?
So the day of the show, my meals are pretty small, and it's mostly like we just kind of carb up with like rice cakes and some honey, some salt, and I usually do use headphones for every other show that I've done before this one,
Okay.
but this one was just completely different from any other show that I experienced. We kind of just found our own little spot by ourselves, my coach and I, also my posing coach Kenny Wallach. So the three of us kind of just found a little camping area by ourselves, and like I said, it was just I didn't really feel like I was going to go on stage at all.
Okay.
It was kind of just quiet, and like we were just hanging out.
Was there something mentally you did compared to maybe other shows? Because again, you sound like you're at peace, you're at ease. Did you do something mentally?
Um, I want to say that preparing for this show, overall, I had just the right people in my life this
Okay.
time around. And I think that's what made it just so different and made everything so easy and peaceful because I had nothing but positive people around me. And I mean, everything just, it all fell into place. And I think that it was my time. I'm going to
Love
say
it.
that. It was my time. I felt it. Everything fell into place. And I think that that's just what was different compared to the other shows. Of course, like, as an athlete, you get to choose what show you want to do and stuff. But it's different whenever you feel in your body and your mind and
Sure.
everything. You feel everything just flowing, and you know that everything is perfect, and that's your time.
Love it. So when
Yeah.
you're in the lineups, you're looking at everybody, the lovely ladies to the left of you, to the right of you. Are you thinking you have this, or like what is
Oh, can I tell you, this was the biggest show. I mean, um, I've done a total of 5 shows. So
okay?
Universe was my 5th show. I thought the Battle of Texas that I did the year, I mean, December 2023. I thought that that was the biggest show I had ever seen. You know, there was, I think, 18 girls, and I placed second. There was 18 girls in my class.
Okay.
This show, I mean, overall, I believe there was 75 wellness competitors.
Crazy, crazy.
75. And okay, we're lined up. Like I said, Justin's there with me, Kenny's right there with me, and there are so many beautiful women.
Yes.
I was like, God, help me because there's so many. I mean, all the competitors are so beautiful, and everybody's worked very hard. Um, so I'm looking around, and I'm like, I just turned to my coach. I'm like, sir, like, what do you think? You know, and that's exactly what I said to him. I'm like, what do you think? And he is, if anybody's ever met Justin before, very quiet. He's not a man of many words.
Okay.
So I look at him, I'm like, what do you think? And he just smiles at me and he was like, you're gonna win this whole show.
Wow.
And
Okay.
the confidence that he had in me, I'm like, no pressure, like no pressure, because I hadn't even gone on for prejudging yet. So I'm like, oh God, you know, and I'm like, I just look at him and I just, you know, I trust him. I
Yeah.
trust him. There is just him and I have this connection that it's just so easy to trust him. So that was, you know, right before I'm going on stage and that's what he tells me. And I'm like, oh God, like, you know, I do have to go up there alone now. Like I'm going up there by myself.
Love it.
But it was just, I mean, the confidence that he has in me, I mean, it's just it does something to you and it gives you that confidence in yourself too. So
Shinobi, in wellness, is there? I know there's height classes, but is one height class maybe more prevalent than another, or do you think they're pretty evenly matched throughout the different height classes? Correct.
I mean, I think it's pretty matched.
Okay.
There, yeah, it does go by height classes, but I think that they do a really good job on that.
So they announce your name at the end of the day or the end of the competition. Did it hit you immediately? Or did someone have to kind of like say, "Hey, you won," or like what's going through your mind at that point?
I just okay, so when I won my class, first of all, when I won my class, I just, oh my gosh, that was enough for me. That
Okay.
was enough for me because, you know, I'm like, you know what? I've worked very, very, very hard. There's nothing, absolutely nothing I could have done different in this prep. So I was just already, that was a win for me. I
Okay.
knew that I had done everything to the T. So there wasn't anything that I would change. So I knew, I'm like, okay, I gave this everything I had. I just got to get top two. Like, I got to get top two and we're good.
Yep.
And so when I won my class, like, oh my, that was enough for me. But then, you know, of course you go up for the overall. And I'm just I mean, I was just honored to be able to stand up there with the women that won
Yeah.
their classes as well. And I mean, just all of them were just so beautiful and so kind. So I'm like, okay, you know, if this is for me, it's for me. But if it's not, you know, these women are beautiful and they all look amazing. And so, I mean, if there was anybody, you know, that would have took it up there, I mean, it was well deserved. So when I got the overall, I was in shock. Like I was completely in shock. I honestly don't even think it really hit me until I came home. Like when I came home, then I'm just like, did that just happen? That really just happened.
Was that night or the next day?
No, I flew home a couple of days after.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so it didn't hit me. It just really did not hit me. Like I just could not believe it with the I mean, when you're there and you're experiencing it and you see how many people are there,
Yep.
and then you come from just such a small town and it's just like me, like
Yeah.
I just did that. Like there's no way. Like there's just no way. And it's funny because my best friend, I cannot do a show without her. She has nothing to do with bodybuilding, knows nothing
Okay.
about it, but that's the one person that I need there with me all the time. We were asleep. We were trying to sleep the night that I did win and I won the overall. So she's in her bed, I'm in my bed, and she's just like, oh my God, in the middle of the night. She just, oh my God. And I'm like, what? I got scared. And she's like, you just did that. So yeah, it was for the both of us. I'm like, we were in shock. It was crazy, crazy.
I love it. I always like to ask once it's done, what do you have for a meal for a post-show meal? Are you just nasty and dirty, or what do you have?
Okay, so I have the biggest sweet tooth. I
Okay.
love sweets. I mean, donuts, cookies, you name it. I love it all. So of course I did have some donuts there waiting for me whenever I got off like as soon as I got off stage. I'm like, hold on with the pictures. Like I need to have this right now. So I had some donuts, but
Are we
in
talking
the
glazed? Are we talking powdered? Like, what kind?
I have to have the ones that are like loaded. So I had
Okay.
like a Oreo, some
Oh,
sort
okay.
of, I don't even know what it was, but it was amazing. I need all the stuff on. If I could get everything that I love and mash it all together, I would eat that like right off
Okay.
the stage. But
Oh,
yeah, so I did that first off stage and then we went ahead and had dinner that evening and I had a big steak.
wow, okay. A lot of people I hear like pancakes or just something dirty, but a steak, you had your
No.
donut or two, but a steak, they'll put you almost right back on target again.
I wanted a steak and potato. I wanted a steak and potato, and I also had a salad. And the salad, I mean, just it was so refreshing. Like I honestly was surprised at myself in what I chose to eat after the show because I'm like, guys, I just need a steak, and that was exactly what I got.
Love it. And so as you said, it's still kind of processing. How long did it take you to update your Instagram with that beautiful IFBB on it?
um, it didn't. I didn't do it right away. I want to say maybe a week or so. It was probably
Okay.
about a week that I did it, maybe 2 weeks after I got home. Yeah.
It's interesting because I talked to it's probably 50-50 where it's people like yourself, it's a day, a week later, and other people I've had say as soon as they walk through the curtain, they're like, "Give me my phone. Give me my
Yeah.
phone."
Yeah, I thought so too. I'm like, man, like I took a while to put this in. It's crazy. I think that everything I just like I said, I was kind of just trying to soak everything in and it just didn't really feel like it happened. And I mean, honestly, coming right off a stage, I wanted to be with my loved ones. So I'm
Love it.
like, I am checking out. I honestly I didn't even post that I was even doing this show. I kind of got posted and then I just reshared it. So people were
Okay.
like, "What? You're there?" And so yeah, like I was not on my phone much except for with the people that I love and that are really close to me and stuff like that were here at home that couldn't be there. And so yeah, that was the only time I was on my phone.
I call that stealth mode where you just no one sees you
Stealth,
come and of course you proved them wrong, came in,
stealth.
won your class, and won the overall. Love it.
I stay in stealth mode. That is the one thing about me. Is that I mean you and it's not even because like I have some sort of secret or I'm like, I just that is just the way I like to work. And
Yep.
so I'm like, just just do what I gotta do. I just and I'll show everybody later when it matters. So
I'm kind of that adage of post occasionally, not because some of the men bodybuilders they post daily, and then you
uh
see them the day of the show, and sometimes it's a disappointment. Where it's
yeah,
like I like to see maybe just a week update every two weeks, and then maybe a week or two before the show, the person goes MIA, and it's like, okay, what
right.
are they gonna look like on game day?
Right. That's yeah, because it is and I think that it's easy to get comfortable
Hmm.
with where you're at when you're prepping for a show. It's easy for you to get comfortable when people are telling you how good you look. But it's not even the same as in person. So I prefer to only hear what my coach has to say. I can
Okay.
care less. I mean, not I mean, with all respect to, people that are on social media, I do not care what anyone else has to say or about how I look besides my coach because
Amen.
I mean, you can be told all day long and then you get real comfortable and you think because other people are saying, "Oh, you're ahead of the game," you start to pull back and you relax.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing that I want to do ever when I'm prepping for a show. I just the people that I have besides my coach and Kenny, of course, the people that I have in my life, I send them my updates and it's just like, you look good, but you could look better.
Of
And
course.
so I'm like, okay, that's okay, that's fair. And it's crazy because they're not competitors. So it's like, yeah, like I that those are the kind of people that I need to hear from because it's like, okay, I need to do better. Like there's
Yeah.
somebody out there that's working harder. Like I got to keep working and working. And I mean, it's easy to get distracted as well when you see stuff on social media and you see, out of nowhere, this person's going and this person's going. So towards the end, I kind of just don't even I'm not even really on social media like that because it doesn't matter who's coming. I'm coming.
Yep.
So
I love it.
yeah.
Because I noticed a few times I try to DM you just to confirm and whatnot. You have like the little tag that says I'm currently in sleep mode or she's in sleep mode and will not respond right now, which more people need to do. Which more people need
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah. I keep it like that a lot of the time. I mean, that's the easiest way for you to be able to tell that I'm working on something.
Yeah.
I kind of shut down. I shut everything else out that doesn't, that's not going to take me to the level that I need to get to.
Hmm.
So that's the easiest way right there is for you to see that I'm working on something. Is whenever I go into that sleep mode, then it's like, okay, she's up to something.
Genobia, how long was the prep for this? How many weeks or how long is a typical prep for you?
So this was the second show that I did with Justin. And this prep, I believe we did about 14 weeks.
Okay.
This was not the original show. Universe was not the goal at all for us. I was actually going to be doing USA's.
Okay.
So we started prepping for that. And well, I forgot when it was, but I woke up from a nap and I seen myself and I had to send pictures right away and I was like, I do not need that long. Like I don't like I said, I felt it and I'm
Yeah.
like, we got to turn this up a notch. Like I am ready right now. Like I'm ready to go. And he was like, let's do it. He does not question me at all,
Wow.
because he
Okay.
knows that once I don't know what it is, but once I zone in, that's it. Like there is just we're gonna get it done. So
Sounds
I'm
like a
like, hey, we got to get this. We got to do something sooner. He's like, I'll be at Universe with a couple other athletes. I'm like, sign me up.
Sounds like a great relationship because I know that there's many different coaches. There's coaches that are dictators. I'll say that properly,
Mhm.
respectfully. But some of the athletes want that. They want somebody just to tell them what to do. I won't give any
Right.
flack. But it sounds like you folks have a very good give and take.
Yeah, we really do. I have met my match when it comes to Justin. I have found my person, and that's just you gotta figure it out for yourself because he's the perfect coach for me but he might not be the perfect coach for someone else.
Yes.
So it's taken me a while to be able to find that match, and when him and I connected, I mean, I knew that he was going to guide me the right way and he was going to take me to that next level, and he knew right away that I was going to be everything that you can ask for in a client in an athlete, because I'm gonna you do your job, I'm gonna do my job, and we're gonna get it done. So yeah.
What are your meals like? Are you a high protein, high carb, kind of even? What do the meals look like during prep?
um to be honest, I have never gone well, since working with my coach, I have not ever gone without any carbs. I would say it evens out.
Okay.
um And yeah, I don't know how. I mean, sometimes in my head, I'm like, I want to reply, and I'm like, are you sure that we're upping my rice or whatever it is?
Yeah.
I'm like, he knows what he's doing. So, but I mean, I want to say that times whenever I thought that I would be losing carbs, he like upped it, and I'm like, okay, whatever you say. I mean, I'm gonna eat it because I'm hungry. So
What are your protein choices? You have are you fish, are you poultry, steak? Like what are your protein sources?
Um, so he's gonna probably kill me when he sees this, but he
Uh-oh.
has he has me eat chicken. We do chicken, we turkey, fish, and beef. Those are, I mean, we use a little bit of everything, but when it
Okay.
comes to fish, I am so sorry. I will not do it. Like I will not do it. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna go with turkey or I'm gonna go with chicken. But that's the one thing that I won't do. Anything else I will do.
If it's any consolation, I'm the same way. I will not eat seafood. I will not eat fish. Anything that's on land, I will eat, but I will not eat anything from the ocean. So I'm with
No,
you right there.
I don't want to. Like I don't want to. Like I'll do anything else, sir. I promise. But that.
And carbs, you mentioned rice. Are you a potato person, or like what are carb sources for you?
So we've done oatmeal, of course, rice, sweet potatoes,
Okay.
rice cakes, and I think that's pretty much what we use the entire time.
Now clear this through your coach because I don't want you to get in trouble. But when I competed years ago, because I have a nasty sweet tooth as well. So my way to get around it is I was big with sweet potatoes, but I'd put powdered cinnamon on it. Because powdered
Oh,
cinnamon is very, very there's no calories to it. So it
right.
kind of gets but clear it through him if you want to try it. I don't want to get you in trouble.
I've already done
Um,
that. I've
well,
already
okay.
done
But
that.
that's what I used to do to kind of help that sweet tooth just a little
It
bit, pour some
It
cinnamon.
it really does. Yeah, I've used that before, and
Oh, okay.
honestly, um, I don't. To be honest with you, I do not have a problem whenever I'm on prep. Once I'm locked in,
Okay.
when I'm locked in, especially with doing universe, there was absolutely nothing that was going to get in my way of what I wanted to get done. So anything that was not on my plan was not for me. That was not for me. I did not even care to drift away from my plan at all. Like I
Okay.
knew that this was my time. I'm going to make it happen and I did everything to the T. Like nothing could tempt me. There was nothing at all that can tempt me because I wanted this that bad.
You were laser focused. You wanted to win, and god darn you did.
Yeah. Yeah, there was nothing that was going to get in the way at all.
Take us back to younger Jenobia. What kind of led you into the path of lifting weights? And we'll start off just with getting in the gym. What brought you to the gym?
To be honest with you, I didn't get into the gym up until 10 years ago. I've been,
Okay.
not even as a bodybuilder, just in the gym lifting weights. Because when I was younger, I was a runner. So I loved to run track. I ran track and I played soccer.
Okay.
So anything else, I didn't want anything else to do with anything. Like I didn't when I was in middle school and high school, like I was skipping the weight room. I was not fixing to be in there. Like my knee hurts. Like I made every excuse. Like I'm
Okay.
not I'm not going to be in there. So I never lifted weights when I was younger in high school or anything like that. I was always on the track. I love cardio. And those that follow me and see me on social media, cardio is a part of my every day. And
That's
I
a
mean, even if
soundbite.
it's
I'm gonna cut you off. That's a soundbite right there because that's something you will never hear anybody say. I love cardio.
I love it. I really do. I do it every single day, whether I'm prepping or I'm not prepping, even if it's just a walk. When you take that away from me, I start to like lose it a little bit because it's like
Okay.
that's my time and that's my peace. Like that is, I mean, that is something about cardio and we have this relationship and it's just it brings me peace and that's how I love to start my day.
What piece of equipment do you use for cardio? Or what's your preferred?
Most of the time I just use a treadmill.
Okay.
We walk a lot even during prep. There was a point in time where I did have to do the stairs, but when I did the stairs I believe that it was like at the most 40 minutes,
Okay.
maybe 3 days out of the week or 3 or 4 days out of the week. And then he took that away and put me back on the treadmill. And then there was, I mean, as we went along and took it day by day, because him and I mean, we stay in contact not 1 week at a time. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Hey, this is this. And he'll like, shoot me a message, no cardio today. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? So yeah, we've had to take it out completely before in this last prep that I did. So I mean that was a little bit rough because mentally I just feel like I need to have that time alone.
Okay.
But yeah, I had it taken away from me and I don't really think a lot of people can say that.
Are you just listening to music? You put on like a Netflix, or what do you do to pass the time, or do you just
I listen to music sometimes, but I'm not, I absolutely love watching like the first 48 or
okay?
cops or like divorce court, like any
Divorce court. Okay.
that I mean next thing you know, like my cardio is already done, but those are my go-tos. I mean it's kind of scary, but I got to put on the first 48 to go to sleep.
Okay. So then what transitioned you to the gym? Because as you said, you kind of avoided it, made excuses, knee, back, whatever it was. What made you get into the gym?
Um, it was after I had children, of course. I think that I kind of wanted to get like a booty. So I just was like,
Love it.
this guy, I look like a wall, So I'm like, I need some help here. So I started going to the gym and I'm like, I wanted to have like a bigger bottom and legs. And I just naturally like genetically do not have that. It's something
Okay.
that I really have to work for. So I was like, okay, like I got into the gym and it's like leg day every day, right? So I'm like, I had no idea what I was doing. Honestly, I would just like look at other people and see what they were doing. And then I would like go to that machine and do it too. And it's just like, that's how it all started.
Okay. So then at what point do you decide, hey, I'm making progress. Maybe I should do a show?
So I never would have even thought to do that. I had no idea what bodybuilding was. I just wasn't familiar with that. I was just in the gym.
Yeah.
But somebody there in the gym that I made friends with was like, "You should try to do a show," and I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." And so he kind of introduced me to bodybuilding, and he prepped me for my first show that I did in 2017, which was the Muscle Beach Classic. It's the John Sherman.
Yep.
So we did. It was so funny because looking back, I'm like, goodness, like who let me on stage? But
But you took first
I
place.
mean,
Didn't you
yeah,
take first
yeah,
place?
I did. I got first. I did. I got first
Wow.
place. But looking back, I'm like, oh no. But yeah, I got first place there, and that prep. He was like, okay, look. I'm like, I don't think I could eat like that. I cannot eat like that. Like, I just no. Like, I'm like, you know what? You got to eat and like eat a lot to get my legs bigger. So I was
Yeah.
just, but eating like crap. So I'm like, I'm eating muffins and everything, trying to like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just eating everything bad. And so he was like, you got to diet. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know how that's going to go. And he was like, let's take it 1 week at a time. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay. The first 2 days, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, yeah.
But we ended up, we made it through. And I mean, that was an experience. I'll never forget that. I honestly wish that I would have enjoyed it a little bit more because I think I was really scared to be kind of like, put out there and have people judge you. That's not
Yeah.
something easy.
So I did some research here. In your first couple of shows, you were a figure competitor, correct?
Yes, yes, I did figure.
So what made you transition to wellness?
Um, so the last show that I did was nationals in 2021.
Okay.
I was a figure competitor. I placed fifth. Um, After that show, I just took a step back and I honestly stayed out of the gym for a year.
Okay.
Um, And when I was ready to come back, I did have a surgery, so that also kept me out of the gym. But when I came back, I just felt like maybe bodybuilding maybe it wasn't for me, right?
Okay.
So I got in touch with Justin, and I'm like, hey, I'm not even interested in competing. I just kind of need to get back in the swing of things and kind of get myself like, I feel completely lost. I just need some guidance. I don't want to compete, but I just need help.
Mhm.
So that's how him and I first started.
Okay.
And when we started making progress, he was like, like if you want to do a show, then we can do one. So we started like kind of prepping a little bit, and I was gonna actually do the Steve Kluko show. I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
try to do that, but we started working, and I'm like, I don't want to lose my legs, sir. Like I don't want to lose my legs. Like I
Yeah.
like the wellness look better. I don't even have to compete. I just like that look.
Mhm.
And he was like, okay, well that's fine. We can do that. But we were making really good progress, and he was like, okay, there's just no way I'm not gonna let you like not do a show. And I'm
Okay.
like, "Oh god, what do you wanna do?" Like, what do you I'm like, "Do you really think that I could do this? Because like, I'm a figure girl, you know?" And he was like, "No, you can do it."
Yeah.
And so, we went ahead and did the 2023 Battle of Texas,
Mhm.
and I shocked myself.
You
I
took
shocked
you took 2nd?
myself.
You took
I
2nd,
took
I think?
2nd
2nd,
in my
okay.
class. Yes, and, I qualified to do nationals, which was the following week.
'Kay.
And I got done with the Battle of Texas and got off stage. That was the first time my son and daughter were at a show to be able to watch me, and I had my niece there, and I had family there, like actual family. So it was just so special to me when I got off the
Yeah.
stage. I just wanted to be with them, and I had to text Justin. He was like, "Okay, like I'm gonna feed you this," and I was like, "No." I was like, I am sorry, but I'm not coming
No, no,
back
no, no.
next week. I'm not coming back next week. I'm not doing nationals. I'm going to go eat dinner with my family. And that was it. Like, I didn't even bother with my phone after that.
Okay.
And he was like texting, and even Kenny, I mean, Kenny Wallach and I, like, we're super, I call him Uncle Kenny. Um, we're really close, and he was calling me. He was like, "Don't do this." Like, even Justin's like, "You can come back. Like, you can be what they're looking for, and you can turn pro." And I didn't respond until the following day when we were already on our way home.
Yeah.
And Justin was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "That's my final decision. I'm not coming back. Like, this isn't my time,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do it, and I'm sure." And so I had to tell Kenny too, Uncle Kenny, because he was like, "No, no, 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 like you're gonna turn pro." And I knew I would. I knew that if I came back the following week and did nationals, I knew without a doubt that I would turn pro. But that's not what I wanted. um I want everything. I want everything. I don't want to just turn pro. I don't want to get my pro card, and that's it. I want to make a statement. That's what I wanted for myself.
Yeah.
So I said, this is what we're going to do. I'm like, we're going to reverse out of this, and I'm going to work, and I'm going to improve on what they think. They want more quads, we're going to bring more quads, and I can't do that in a week.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people make that mistake thinking that you get that feedback, and okay, well, next week. Well, that's not going to happen by next week. And I knew that for myself. Like I said, I knew I would have turned pro, but I also wanted to be better than what I was. And I wanted to be undeniable. And
Mhm.
I said, this isn't my time. I want to keep working, and I'm going to win everything. And that's exactly what we did.
Genobia, did you have to mentally change your workout style? Because I know as a figure, it's just as important to have upper and lower, where I know in wellness and bikini, it's more lower than upper. So did you have to kind of really change your mindset when it came to the gym?
Oh, definitely. That was probably one of the hardest things that I had to do, because
Yeah.
I was always such a like I love training upper body. Loved it. I mean, I would choose to train back over anything. And
Okay.
I mean, that was the biggest problem I had going into the wellness division, was my back. So I'm like, oh my God, like I've pounded into my back all these years, and I've tried to, every feedback that I had got was my shoulders. My shoulders needed to come up. Now it's like trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, like I don't even know how that's even going to be possible. So I want to say we trained upper body probably once a week, and then there was times where he wouldn't even have me train, or if he did, he'd be like, just do a 20-minute shoulder pump, and that was
Yeah.
it. But I think I haven't even trained back still since November of last year.
Wow.
Since November of last year, I have not trained back.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Because I wonder, like, how, because you don't see it. Because I know wellness and bikini, most people have long hair, and you don't even get to really see the back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm surprised because it's still there. Like, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. It's still there, but I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's just you can see it whenever, I feel like whenever you hit certain poses or the way you carry yourself, and it's just like, I mean, even the way I walk, like, you
Yep.
can see that. So that was one of the biggest challenges, was bringing down my upper body that I had worked for years trying to bring up. And
Mhm.
so that was really hard. And then trying to switch, like you said, it's more of the lower body, so it's like that was way smaller, so
Yeah.
everything had to change. And mentally it was a lot on me, because there were times I feel like, man, I don't even know if I can make this happen, because
Yeah.
I mean, you see it. Like, it's not like just in your head. You can see I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if we can do this. But like I said, I trusted my coach completely, and I did everything. I did everything that he asked me to do. And even a training program, that's the first time I've ever even followed a program. All these years, I've kind of just done my own thing in the gym and trained, and just trained hard.
Yeah.
And, that's like the only way I know how, but I've never been guided as far as like a workout program or things to follow, or this day you train this and this is how you, like, I've never done that until meeting my coach. And
Yep.
I'm like, you know what? Let me just try and do everything that this man says and see what happens. And it
It
worked.
worked. Love it.
Yeah, it worked.
Are you looking towards 2025 yet?
I do not have a plan right now. Well, we don't
Okay.
have a plan right now. Of course, I would love to be able to do my pro debut. But I just have to feel it. I have to feel it. I don't want to rush it. I only have that debut one time.
Mhm.
So I don't want to rush anything. And I mean, honestly, since after competing, there's just like, I've had a hard time getting back on track since then, because right after I came home from my show in July, winning my pro card and winning the title of Miss Universe, I lost my dad 3
Okay.
weeks. 3 weeks after that, and this is something that nobody on social media knew, that I was going through during my prep. My dad was battling cancer.
I'm so sorry.
So, yes. So, that was, I want to say that was the biggest, how do you call it? Like, that was the hardest thing that I had to deal with on prep. That was
Yeah.
harder, mentally, just being there for him and stuff. And there were times where hey, coach, like, I'm not training today. My dad has chemo. This program, I'm gonna be in
Yeah.
the hospital, and it still being able to be there with my dad, and be there for my mom. It just still, I'm in shock that I was still even able to make it all the way through and make that happen.
Yeah.
But since then, like I said, nobody on social media knew. They didn't even know I was even doing the show. But since then, coming home, I think I thought I was prepared for the day, but I don't think you'll ever be prepared for losing a loved one. It kind of all hit me, and I couldn't even make it to the gym. Like, I could not even, and that's the one thing that I run to for everything. So I felt so lost, because when I'm happy, I'm at the gym. When I'm sad, I'm at the gym. When I'm mad,
Yeah.
I'm at the gym. But it's just something that nothing on earth could ease, what I was feeling. So it took me weeks before I could actually get to the gym and go inside and
Yeah.
move around, and it took me a while. Now we are finally back in the swing of things. Like, I've learned how to, I'm not that I'm got over that, like, you just learn how to live. You just
Sure.
learn how to live again. And so I'm there now. And so we don't really have a plan for 2025. I'm not too
Okay.
sure that I will be able to do my pro debut just because I took so much time out of the gym since July. But I
Yeah.
mean, I know that if Justin has, if he has something up his sleeve, like I know that it's because he knows that I'm going to be able to get it done. But there's no rush. I'm just happy that I got to make one of my biggest goals come true and be able to share that with my dad before he passed, because he was still, I mean, he was still here and he understood
Yeah.
everything that was going on. He was excited. He was telling everybody in the hospital, like, this is Miss Universe. Like, that's my daughter.
Oh, I love it.
So, I mean, like, that was I was just so happy. And he would not have wanted me to not compete. So, he was just so proud and he couldn't wait to tell everybody. It didn't matter who people coming in and out, like, this is Miss Universe. I'm like, Dad, they don't know what you're talking about. They don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so I don't want to say that I'm going to step on stage. I don't have anything planned,
Okay.
but when I do, it's not really something that I share. It's not something that I share. And it's, again, I go stealth mode. And it's really just the people that are actually in my everyday life that
Mhm.
know. And that would be, my kids, of
Yep.
course, my coach, my best friends, like the people that are close to me are going to be the only ones that know. And it's not even, like I said, it's not because I'm some secret weapon. Like, it's not anything. It's just because that's how I like to work.
Yeah, yeah. Shinobi, thank you for sharing that with your dad. But what you don't realize is keep that memory that you did because you don't realize you had a sparkle and a smile on your face when you're describing that last minutes, not last minutes,
Yeah.
but with your dad. Remember
Yeah.
those great times, and thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
Talk to us about your competition suit because I always love to hear, what goes into the colors, like how many like rhinestones, non-rhinestones, because a lot of people don't realize how expensive these darn things are, first off.
They're expensive. They're very expensive. And that is a hard question because I am so plain. I'm so plain. I'm very, like, just basic. I'm chill. I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed because I'm like, there's just a lot going on. Like, there's a lot going on. So, with this last with this last one, I decided I usually step on stage with like a blue color, like usually it's like a blue.
Okay.
And I'm like, let's try something different because I mean, the last one, I'm like, "Ugh, it didn't go. It didn't go."
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's try something different. So I went with a green suit. And one of the girls that was helping me pick out the suit and the design, I'm like, look, like, I don't know. I just like the way this one looks. So I, like, had a
Yeah.
picture from somebody else's social media. I'm like, I like that one and we're good. Whatever that is, just do that. And she's like, okay, I got you. And I think I found my color. My color is green. My color is green. So I'm glad that I just decided to switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
And even my coach was like, the green is it for you. So that's definitely what I'm going to stick with. But when it comes to jewelry, like I said, I'm very, very basic. I'm like dainty stuff, like
Yep.
not anything too, but that's not what you see. Um, so it's funny because backstage, I had these earrings, like the dangly ones, right? So I had these earrings, and I'm like, I tell my coach, I'm like, what if I just like break off the bottom part? Like, if I could just make it shorter. And he's
Yeah.
like, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
Ah,
And I'm like, it's too much. Like, it was just like hanging down. And I'm like, it's gonna get caught. It's gonna get in my hair. It's gonna get caught on my suit. Like, I seriously just wanted to take them off. And
yeah.
I'm very simple. Like, I want something cute and tiny. You just see a little sparkle. And that's not what it is. But I had a lot of help with that. I didn't pick everything on my own. So
Okay.
yeah, that I'm lost. Like, I can't help anybody on that. You got to figure it out on your own.
Genobia, for someone that's competing, a female that's competing for the first time, how long in advance did you start putting in your order for your suit? Like, what should someone expect? 12 weeks, 8 weeks, for measurements and whatnot?
I think I put in my measurements at 8 weeks out. When I was 8 weeks out is
Okay.
whenever yeah, and I'm like, okay, like that is, you have to trust what they're doing. These are professionals. That's what they do, but
Sure.
it is hard to trust somebody with it because it's like, you know that this is like in 2 months. I don't know what I'm gonna look like. You don't know what I'm gonna look like. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what, you have to really trust them. But every time they've been spot on. Like every time that no matter who I've worked with, that this is what they do. Like this is what they do. And I know that it's like hard to trust people because you put in that order, 8 weeks, 6 weeks out,
Yeah.
and then you get it like the week of. So if
Like,
something's
they're doing
wrong, like
this.
yes, like stressed. I can't even sleep. Like I can't sleep. Like this is not going to be good. But it's, you really have to trust them. Like everything's going to be fine. Like calm down. But I'm pretty sure that the next one I'm still going to be stressed.
And it's funny because yes, they are professionals, but so many female competitors I speak to, it's all order. They don't go to somebody local. Like I would have to go to
No.
somebody local if I was a female just for measurements. I mean, you wouldn't order a wedding dress online and send them your measurements, you know?
Yes. Yes, I know. I know because I didn't get to see anybody in person either, and I never have with any suit. And so every time it's just, this is, I remember one even said, like, I'm like, "Do you need measurements?" "Nope, just send me pictures." I'm like, "But how do you know?" Like, how do you know? And it's
Yeah.
just, I'm surprised, but they do it. I agree with you. I need to see you. Like, can you just, you put the thing around me? Like, let's let's be real here.
Oh my gosh. So we had somebody send in a question, and I don't know if you saw it, and I wanted to give you a prep a little bit. What is your why? Why do you do this?
Um, so I want to say that, not even like as a competitor, just speaking as, because even not being a pro, I'm a bodybuilder.
Yep.
I'm a bodybuilder. That's the way I live. That's my lifestyle. Um, and I would say that my why is my children, my son and my daughter. I have a 14-year-old daughter,
Okay.
and I want to show her that anything that you put your mind to, like anything, even my son, but more so my daughter, you can do whatever you want to do. You can
Yep.
do absolutely whatever you want to do. Like it doesn't matter. Like you want to, I would take them when they were younger. I would take them with me to the gym, and where I was training at, there wasn't even childcare. So they would sit there on the bench for an hour and a half,
Oh
and they could
wow.
see me training. They could see me. And they are my why for everything in life, not just bodybuilding, but everything that I do is I want to show them that, when you put your mind to it, you can do it. You can do it. And another thing is like, even if you don't get the outcome that you want, you finish it through.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't matter. You start something, you finish it. And it
Yep.
doesn't matter what the outcome is, and just be proud of yourself. Like be proud of what you've accomplished, even though if at the end you didn't reach that goal, but that's okay because you didn't give up.
Yes. Yes.
So I would say that my children are definitely my why.
What's the end goal? What's the big picture?
Well, well, to be able to make it to the Olympia would be,
Do you want to win? You can be honest. Do you want to win? Do you want a top five? Like, what's the ideal plan for you?
um realistically, I would love to be top 10.
Okay.
And that's just, being real. There's just, I mean, the wellness division is just insane.
Yes.
Insane. Like to be able to be top 10 in the world would be an absolute dream.
I look at wellness and bikini almost similar to like classic on the men's side because the
Mhm.
men's competitions, there's 40, 50, 60 people at the shows, which is crazy as well.
Yeah, a lot. A lot. There's a lot of competition, and there's only going to be more and more as the years go on, and also these women are starting out so much younger.
Yes.
So it's like, man, like they're starting out like way before I ever even thought of stepping foot in a gym, So it's like, man, these girls are going to really be bringing it. I wish that I had started. There's so many that I see that are competing that I wish that I started when like how they are.
But in all fairness, though, I'm going to equate this next statement to what males say is that you started a little bit later, but your body's just as fresh to a point, if that makes sense. You have
I
you.
yeah,
I don't know if
I
that
would
makes sense
agree.
or not.
I would agree, yes. Um, but I do think that I would be a lot further
Okay.
had I started younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Age is just a number. It's not a feeling.
That's true. And I look great, so
I love it. Genobia, as we wind down, okay, I'm going to throw three random questions that you have not been prepped for. It's
Oh God.
not going to scare
Okay.
you. It's fun. It's to help people understand you a little bit better. Okay.
It's hot in here now. It's hot in here.
So these will be fun. What TV show or movie can you watch over and over?
Okay, that's easy because like I said, I am the biggest fan of the first 48. Like
Okay.
any any crime shows. Any crime shows are my absolute favorite.
Are you a Law and Order person?
You know what? When I was in high school, like I used to watch that every single, like I would watch that, but not now as as an adult, no, but I was a big fan of Law and Order.
Okay, because SVU is the jam for my wife and I. Watched it for
Yeah.
a few years and still watch it. Okay, whether it's independent or with the kids in the car, what's the last song you sang out loud in the car?
Oh no. Oh God, Pound Town.
Okay. See, I told you it'd
You
be
have to
fun.
you're gonna have to listen to that if you don't know what that is.
I think my son played it for me, but anyway, I'll have to refresh it. And the last one here, athlete or movie star shows up at your door. Who's at the door and where are they taking you out for a date?
Oh God. Why is my heart racing? I would probably say Channing Tatum. I would have to
Okay.
say, and we're definitely going to dinner and a movie.
A special restaurant, or are you more of a simple person, or you want a five-star?
Okay, I'm very, very simple. My favorite, like, I mean, I'm never gonna say no. Like, I'm never gonna say no to Five Guys. Five Guys is the bomb. I'm gonna pick that every time. Any cheat meal is Five Guys. Burgers. I love burgers.
I call it heart attack in a bag. I had it once, and I can eat stuff, but that just weighed me down for, like, days.
It does. You're instantly gonna go to sleep. But yes, it's my favorite.
So, Magic Mike Channing Tatum with the or
Oh,
more
that
more
would be
more
nice. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know if we're leaving if that shows up at the door.
Ginobili, it's been an absolute pleasure. I love ending on making people smile and laugh. Is there anything that maybe we haven't discussed that maybe you wanna share with the listeners? Or if not, please let people know where to follow you on Instagram, give flowers to everybody that's part of your team, your crew. Please, the floor is yours.
So first of all, I want to shout out my son and my daughter, Layla and Fabian, because they are, like I said, my why. They are my number one supporters. They are my go-to. It's just the three of us, we are a force. Like my daughter is all involved in everything in every competition. She's right there with my pictures. She's reading the response from my coach, the updates, and so she's all in it. I have to thank them because they are so supportive of whatever their mother wants to do, and they believe in me like no other. So of course they're my number one. My coach, Justin, he is God sent. So amazing. The patience that that man has and the confidence that he has in all of his clients, not even just me, but that man is just truly amazing and loves what he does. And then I would like to thank the friends that I have that are super close, that are like in my everyday life. I could not do it without them. Everything. I mean, it's just for everything. I call them for everything. And I just I I couldn't pick a better group of people that I have in my corner. And that will get you far whenever you have people that love you and support you and want to see you make it in anything that you choose to do in life.
Yeah.
You're going to get there. You're going to get there because you have that team that's there behind you. And um yeah, I'm so thankful. There are a couple other people, but that part of my life is private, that I could not be more grateful for, that make me better as a person, even outside of bodybuilding, because sometimes you need those people that have nothing to do with what you choose to do.
Yep.
Their lifestyle isn't, the same as yours. And I've learned that this past year, that even having just that one person that has nothing to even do with bodybuilding, they're able to show you life outside of that, because it's easy to get so caught up in bodybuilding that you
Yes.
forget how to live outside of bodybuilding. And that's one thing that I've had to learn. So I'm very thankful for this one special person. And then I want to also thank my new sponsor, Born Ready. I would love to thank them. I'm excited to see what we're able to do together going into 2025. Like I said, I'm not too sure if we're going to make it to the stage or not, but they, as a whole, are so amazing. And I'm just so proud to be able to represent that company. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity that I've been given.
I love it, and
And
you can't even see it, but I have Dylan. As I mentioned offline, I worked out with Dylan and Tanya. Oh, I love it. A couple of weeks ago, I'm keeping fingers crossed for Tanya here this
Oh, I
weekend.
know. I'm
This weekend or
excited. I
next week?
cannot wait to
This week.
see what
This
happens.
weekend. Yeah, and I'm excited for them. But again, Genobi, it's a pleasure. As I tell everybody, the podcast door is open. I'd love to have you back, whether it's talking about your next big win or just something exciting. And where can people follow you on Instagram if that's okay?
So my Instagram name is Jenobia_Desirea. So that's pretty much my only social media that I use as far as like bodybuilding. And I'm on there more often than I am like Facebook. That's more for like my family stuff. But my Instagram, I'm very active on there, Jenobia_Desirea.
Perfect. And for everybody listening, thank you so much for chiming in. My Instagram is subtalk_radio. And as always, keep your eyes on this upcoming star because I know I will. Thank you again and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.